Anyways, if you know me, I'm a cinnamon roll whore, okay? And there's this place called Cinnaholic, and he drove like kind of far to get them for me and brought them, and like that was really sweet. A lot of experiences in my life where it feels like things are transactional, or like if somebody gets me something nice or does something for me, like I owe them in return, or they're gonna expect something in return later. And so I really, really hate getting gifts and stuff like that. Even though I can see how kind it is, and I just felt, I started crying, to be honest. I was already in like not an emotionally good place, but I just felt like I didn't deserve it, you know? And I just have this unhealthy relationship with like receiving gifts, I guess, which is, it sounds so stupid, but I've had multiple experiences like that, and it's upsetting, you know? I don't think gifts should be something you hold over someone's head or like expect something in return because you give something to someone or do something for someone, you know? So he knows that, and I appreciate that he did that. But yeah, and then I guess the day before that, I got into it really was not that big of a deal, but I was just in a sensitive mood and got into not even like a disagreement, just like a little spat with my best friend on a phone call, and I actually ended up hanging up on them, which I've never done before, and if that felt kind of weird, but they said some things that were upsetting me in the moment. Maybe I was being really sensitive, but it was just, I was already dealing with stuff, and that was weird. We made up and like we're good now, but that also like felt really weird, you know? And on top of these things, my car issues. To make a long fucking story short, I got pulled over because my car, I guess, was not registered, and it was this whole confusing thing because my ex got me my car as a gift, and we transferred the lease to me, but the car was never registered to me, and so we were like on and off the phone with, you know, the leasing company and going to the DMV multiple times, and I had to go to, you know, the court twice to get my case dismissed or whatever. And it's been really freaking annoying and stressful. And so after that was finally done and finished, I was driving home from the gym literally last week, and there was an opened manhole, and I freaking drove into it, and like a big chunk of the bottom of my car like got basically ripped out. And so I've been dealing with that now, like right after solving all these registration issues and stuff. And then I was like, fuck, I got more car problems. And now I'm dealing with like the insurance company and stuff. And it's just stressful, dude. And so they're actually calling me today, and I'm dealing with that. But I think for me, there will be a bunch of little things that add up over time, whether that's emotional or like tangible life things happening. And it's hard for me to process all of it sometimes. Like, I feel like my brain can only handle like one thing at a time, you know? And I try to focus on one thing at a time, but I can't help but feel overwhelmed. And sometimes I just get to like this breaking point where I just like break down, and like I need a good cry, you know? I'm an emotional Pisces, okay? I need a good cry every once in a while, but you know, I've got most of my stuff mentally just don't have the energy for it anymore. Like, last year, after my breakup and stuff, I put in a lot of effort to meet people, make new friends, kind of have like a hoe phase, you know. I wanted to experience that, and I feel like I've lost all the connections I made, or, you know, people are shallow or don't fuck with me, and that's totally fine. And like, I think I just don't really care much for, you know, meaningless sex and hookups. As fun as it could be, like, it's not very rewarding. And so I've kind of thought like, maybe I'm like somewhat demisexual, like where you need a connection. I don't want anything serious, right? And so it's like, what's the balance? Like, I've tried to have a few friends with benefits, and I just feel like things never go as planned. And at some point, months down the line, months into a connection, it doesn't matter how much you communicate or what the boundaries are, someone's going to catch feelings or get hurt or have high expectations for you or something, and it's just really hard and stressful. But it's also like, I think as people we crave intimacy, right? And you know, I tried really hard to become more invested in the gay world and the gay community and gay culture, and I just have a really hard time feeling like I belong. Like, I always just feel out of place, and like, I just feel like off. I don't know. It sucks. Like, I know those are my people, that's my community, and there's just a culture that I just have a hard time feeling like I fit the mold, if that makes sense. So yeah, I have let go of a lot of people and connections, and it sucks, dude. Like, it's hard for me to put an effort like that and meet people, especially as an introvert, and going out of my way. Like, I would just find people on apps or on Instagram in my area and be like, hey, like, let's hang out, let's go get a drink, whatever. And I did that quite a bit, and I'm like, bro, all this time has passed, and what do I have to show for it? And I think I just get in my head about that type of stuff, because I'm like, what am I doing? Am I wasting my time? I also don't want to waste other people's time and energy. And so I've really been kind of isolating myself. I also just want the connections in my life to feel very natural and easy and fun, you know? I don't know why. That's always been so damn hard for me. Even like when I was in junior high and stuff, high school, I didn't really have friends. In high school I started to make more friends. Like, my senior year was actually really fun because I actually had friends. But yeah, like junior high and stuff, like I remember eating lunch by myself and whatever. Like, I just always had a hard time making friends, but I really wanted to have friends, you know? And I feel like I see the value in myself, but other people don't, or it's hard for me to find the people that do. So yeah, like, that sucks, and that's something I've been thinking about a lot, actually. It seems like there's people and their friends are such a big blessing to them, and they're so grateful for them, and I just feel like I've never, very rarely experienced like those true, genuine, really close connections. And you know, people have all these friends or best friends they've had since they were young, and I've just never experienced that. And so sometimes I feel alone. I'm also quite picky. Like, I want good people in my life. You know, you become like the people you surround yourself with, and I want quality people who inspire me, make me feel good. I make them feel good, and it's healthy, you know. And sometimes people will pretend to be that until you get to know them better, and you see more and more things that you dislike, or like, oh, and nobody's perfect. Trust me, I'm not freaking perfect, but I I've met people who seem really great at first, and the more you get to know them, you really just see all these red flags. It's like, shit, bro. It sucks. And it's like, I wasted my time. It's like, I'm just over that. I'm over trying to connect with people. I don't have energy for it, and luckily, I'm an introvert, and I like being alone, but to some degree, I think we all need some level of human connection, so I've mostly been hanging out with my mom lately. And so one of the things I overthink when I'm in a sad mood is like my appearance. I will think that I'm ugly and unattractive or overweight or like whatever, and that really affects, you know, when I work and make content because I gotta be on camera, and it really lowers like my motivation. I also want to feel at peace, like truly. I feel like I just want like a peaceful, boring life. That's all I am asking for, and I feel pretty good about my life, to be honest, but I'm just having like a moment of weakness, and I just sometimes I feel lost, and I'm like, what am I doing with myself? But I think I've felt that way for a long time. It feels like it doesn't matter where I am, if I'm in a relationship, what job I have, I will always have these little thoughts and just feel kind of lost, but I guess that's life, and it's okay to feel lost. But yeah, anyways, I guess that's my ramble. I just kind of wanted to chat about some things that have been on my mind, and I just had a really weird week last week, and just anxious and sad, and dealing with some issues with connections and my car stuff and emotional issues, and it's been crazy, and even dealing with some family stuff that I didn't even get into, but it's been a lot. But it's crazy because it's like that's just my life, and I think about the other people's lives, you know, like I'll be driving down the street and see someone walking on the sidewalk, and I'm like, what is their life? What is their story? What do they do for work? Who are they connected to? How did they get where they are? And it's a really weird feeling that we all have our own separate lives and issues. And I believe there's a word for that called sonder, where it's like this realization that everybody else has their own specific and unique issues and lives. And you know, you guys watching this, even, like, I hope you're doing well. Like, I hope life is good. You are the main character of your own story, and we are all the main character of our own story. But it's crazy to think that, like, there's so many of us going through our own issues, our own problems. I don't know, it's just a weird realization, I guess, because we get so caught up in our own little issues that it's like, it's actually insignificant what we're going through, in a way, like in the grand scheme of things. So, I don't know, I like to think about how big the universe is, and it's like your perspective changes, right? We're really nothing, and we're not here for a long time, so I just want to enjoy my damn life. I'm just glad I'm in a better place now, but yeah, I just wanted to chat on this rainy day, but have a good rest of your night, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on